there. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak, organizational coach and certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. In addition to organizing and coaching, I support my clients with a weekly newsletter, a weekly accountability and productivity session through professional speaking, blogging, and podcasting. Want to finish strong with me this week? Please come over and join me for Finish Line Friday, every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. So there's irony today. You're just going to have to bear with me and trust me on that one, but there is irony. However, I took a deep breath in the shower this morning because I realized that my 8 days of travel had come to a close, and that is good news. The travel itself was phenomenal. So last weekend I was, and this is coming out, so let's just say the weekend before Thanksgiving, there you go. I was at our annual conference for the Illinois Association of School Boards because I'm a board member on our local school board. And it's awesome. I love that. It's an amazing experience. I meet people from all over the state. It's phenomenal. I then came home for 72 hours, turned it all around, and headed to Michigan for Thanksgiving with my family in Kalamazoo. In the midst of those things, my college-age son came home from school, was home for a week, and then went back to college yesterday. My middle son, who lives in Indiana now for work, also came home and then went back to Indiana in there too. It's just been busy. I'm not saying this in the context of, oh, look at what Colleen can do, as though I have some kind of superpower, because I might have superpowers, but these aren't it. What I am trying to convey is that as we delve into today's topic, which is distraction, let me be the first to tell you that if anybody understands being distracted this time of year, it is me. So like I said, this is not a preachy, look at what we can do. Let's stuff, 28 hours of work into 24 hours and make that happen. No, this is, I know it's distracting this time of year. I know that life is busy. And so let's figure out how we can make things better. That's the point of today. So the topic that I wanted to share today, the article, which is actually from, oh my gosh, like 10 years ago, which is kind of funny. 10 years ago, I was still thinking the same thoughts, and I bet you were too. And the title of it is How to Stay Productive When All the World is a Distraction. Because let's face it, this time of year, we all struggle to maintain focus. My producer would tell you the irony of today when I'm saying that how to get things done when all the world is a distraction is I was supposed to set up 2 podcast episodes today to catch up, and it didn't happen. I have high hopes for next week. We'll see what happens then. If anybody can understand distraction this time of year, it's absolutely me. So we are in the midst of all the holiday hustle, bustle, and hype. I kind of thought that this week, because Thanksgiving was so early, that this week that isn't quite December yet, but it's still after Thanksgiving, would be a week of, clarity and focus and getting things done. And I say hoped or thought because it's shaping up just to be a very busy work week like any other work week. So again, I understand the challenges of staying focused when all the world is a distraction. So, I sat down this morning at my desk. I was already tired, and I opened my inboxes to hundreds of email, right? And so I fought the temptation to run and hide, but it does get me thinking about how we can all find focus and get things done when all the world is distraction. So here are some tips to help us all out. And I mean all of us, you and me. So first of all, clear the clutter in your workspace. So spend 10 minutes and file your filing, or tidy your resources, clear the trash, wash out your coffee mug, whatever that is for you. Yesterday I had a little bit of time and I shred about 3 inches of confidential papers from about 5 years ago. Got those out of my file cabinet so I could put some other things newer away. So I cleared that space, finally putting those in there, those items in their final away. Then I emptied out the shredder, took that out to the garbage can because you can't recycle it. But it felt really, really good to clear those physical spaces because I know that more work and chaos is probably coming, right? So once we do that, we clear our clutter in our workspace. We can take a few deep breaths and enjoy the space, and then we get back to work. So next up for me, and maybe for you, is to clear the clutter in our inboxes. So I'm recording this on Cyber Monday. Oh my goodness. I have so many emails that were waiting for me in my personal email inbox and in my business email inbox this morning. It was crazy. So everybody had a Black Friday sale, and then everybody else, and probably even the ones from Black Friday, are on for Cyber Monday as well. So I ruthlessly deleted emails yesterday and today. It was very gratifying. So catalogs and email advertisements are sent with the specific intention of making you buy things. And if you aren't in the market for those things right now, delete the emails because more is going to come. I guarantee you all of those retailers that sent you stuff for Black Friday and Cyber Monday will also be sending you specials during December for the Christmas holiday. So by all means, delete them because more will come, and start fresh. And the other thing that I did with my inbox is, because I have been away for the last week or so, I actually made note of the things I needed to follow up on, not just on in my inbox. I actually made a note of them on my to-do list. There's a couple people that I need to respond to, and they've gotten a little farther down the email list because they're a little older, and I needed to make sure they were front and center on my to-do list to get them done. So other things that you can do. So decorate your workspace, but just a little, right? And for safety's sake, hey, no candles. I brought out my reindeer mug this morning for my cup of coffee. That is probably my only splash of holiday that will be in my office area, maybe for the whole season, certainly for the next couple weeks. And that's enough. It made me smile. It did its job. And, coffee. So, hey, why not? So if you want to enjoy the holidays, like I said, bring in a little holiday fun into your workspace, but not too much. We don't want it to be distracting. Remember that any decorations you put out now will be clutter in 5 weeks. I know that's harsh, but it's true. Other things you need to do is to clear clutter in your calendar and your to-do list. I started the day with a dozen quick and easy tasks on my work to-do list. I sent invoices, follow-ups. I was making copies for a presentation that I have tomorrow. That felt really good to get those things done, and they won't come back. Those are once and done, so that's really good. And then also any extraneous stuff on the calendar, because I know that more is going to get on the calendar for this next month than we're taking off, right? So we really need to be clear on what absolutely has to be done and what can absolutely be neglected for a little bit. Other things that we need to think about are employing a hard stop. And what I mean by that is we all know when an event will start, but we don't always know when it will or should end. So sometimes we can set the example for others, and we can say, I would love to have an open house for everybody from 2 to 4 on Saturday. And having a hard stop gives people an idea of how long they're supposed to linger. Now, maybe you have family that it's hard to, move them along, and you can express that in however you want to express that. But very often, I know for me, at least this time of year, because there are so many extra things on the calendar, I really need to know how long things are going to take. So employing hard stops, whether your invitation gives you a hard stop or not, you can do that for yourself. For example, as you're about to walk into a party, check in with your family and say, okay, we're going to give this a couple hours and then we're going to hit the road. So we can have our fun, and we can also know that that event will come to an end, and we'll also be able to move on with whatever else we need to do that day. And this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Don't get distracted. I know, right? The whole world is a distraction. That's where we started this conversation today. But what I mean by that is check in many, many times a day or hour or even minute to make sure that you're on task and doing what you actually intended to do today, and not mindlessly browsing the internet or watching tear-jerking commercials on Facebook, or chatting too long with a friend at the grocery store. I mean, hey, a little while is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I see a lot of great people when I'm at the store. But we can compartmentalize and we can set timers if we must. If we find that that's where we tend to get distracted, by all means, like I said, set a timer, check in with yourself multiple times a day or even hour, and make sure that you're getting done what it is that you wanted to get done. Next up, multitask. Multitasking is a myth. However, we can indeed put the cookies, Christmas cookies in the oven and then write your blog. Oh yeah, that's me. Or, we can wrap presents while on a phone call with a loved one that we needed to check in with. Or we can, yes, there are things that we can do two things at once. Maybe we run errands on our commute. So I have clients all over the Chicago area, and in the next couple weeks, I will make sure that as I go to clients and home, I will run my errands while I'm out to make sure that those errands happen, but also do it in time that I have available. So there are places that we can multitask, even if multitasking is a myth. I find the things that I can do without thinking about them are great to do while I'm also doing other things. Like I said, we don't want to do multitasking is a myth because sometimes we try to do two tough things at the same time, and that's not going to work. What I also want to talk about is starting the January list. So what I mean by that is there are many, many things to do this time of year. I get ideas and tasks and stuff that I want to do, and I might get a great idea, in the middle of the day on a Tuesday and go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I really want to do that. And then I realize, looking at my week and month, that it's just not feasible to act on that great business building idea before January 1st. And it's okay. I mean, sometimes I want to anyway, but I also know there's 10 more things that are much higher priority in front of me that I really need to take care of first and second and third. However, we don't want to lose those ideas. So please start your January list or your 2024 list, whatever you want to call it. Many of those things that we have to do right now are time or holiday specific, or maybe there's other people that are relying on us to do them, right? Or the deadline is before December 31st, and that's okay, because there are also dozens of tasks that don't have to be completed right now and may be put offable until January. So please start that list now. We don't want those ideas to be lost. We also don't need the distraction of them right now when we've got 10 more other things to do more pressing in front of us. Okay, I probably should have started with this, but I'll end with it instead. In this very fun and festive and distractible time, take a couple deep breaths, right? I was writing content for a presentation that I'm giving tomorrow to parents of preschoolers and younger. I made sure to add a note in there to start with taking a couple deep breaths. Put down the phone for a minute, right? 5 minutes of peace, even 60 seconds of peace before you jump into the craziness is going to help you to tackle that craziness with a better attitude and hopefully not burn yourself out by the middle of December. So by all means, take a deep breath when we get started. If you need to do that multiple times a day, multiple times an hour, or even a minute, then so be it. I think that's okay too. I hope this helps you clear some brain and life clutter and maintain focus on your professional goals this time of year. So have a great day, and now get back to work, right? If you'd like to explore topics like this and coaching for organizing and productivity, drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram. Thanks so much, and I will talk to you next week.